Welcome to Aware. We are dedicated to communicating information that inspires your positive growth and change. Are you interested in a peaceful planet? Are you interested in optimal health? Are you living with purpose? Are you enjoying your life? We realize each person can make a difference, and our mission is to empower your awareness. The choices that you make in every moment shape your life, and we encourage you to realize that you have your own answers and to always listen to your own truth. We invite you to stay aware. Well, hello. I'm so excited about today's show. Welcome. This is Lisa Garr. Welcome to Being Aware. We are going to have such a great time today with a really super high energy guest, and I'm really excited about today's show. So I notice your calls are coming in already. We're going to take your calls throughout the show, and my guest is going to do some readings. So first, though, I wanted to mention that the Aware Show, the show that I host the other 5 days a week, is running a huge, giant show this month. Actually, we have recorded 22 different interviews, and they're all there for you to listen to, and they're actually video interviews, so you get to see me in person doing video interviews with my guest in person, and it's over Google Hangout, and it was just such a blast. Great series. We just wrapped it up, so those videos are up there for you until the end of the month. So check them out at the website, which is theawareshow.com/calendar. These are all free videos until the end of the month. There's incredibly inspirational interviews, uplifting, life-changing interviews. So check those out at theawareshow.com/calendar. And they're all up there for you today. So let me ask you a question. Would you like to know what to expect in 2014, or would you like to know your future? And I think pretty much anyone would like to know those questions, and I mean, pretty much, if it was guaranteed, though, right? So joining me today is someone who is really pretty close to getting those answers. In many cases, she has been completely accurate, and especially with me and talking with me. Elizabeth Summers is my guest. She is an esoteric numerologist. You'll find out what that means in just a second. Welcome to the show, Elizabeth. Hello.
Well, we had a little starburst there. Hi, Lisa, and everyone who's listening. Delighted to be with you.
You too. So tell us what the word esoteric means, esoteric numerologist. I mean, we know what the word means, but what does it mean in combination with numerologist?
With numerology. Well, numerology is as old as astrology. It is a system of number codes, and what we write on paper are numerals that represent quantities. The numbers represent qualities. And the qualities are spiritual qualities, psychological qualities, human qualities, even karma shows up in the numbers. So basically in our society over here in the West, the numerologists used the Pythagorean system 1 through 9. And 1 through 9 to me is like the basic black dress. You know, a 6
black
is
dress.
a 6 is a 6. But esoteric numerology, which I do, takes that and goes deeper, works out formulas, the same formulas, arriving at numbers 1 through 9. But in esoteric numerology, I then interpret numbers 1 through 78 that correlate to the tarot. So I'm adding in tarot interpretations to the client's numbers. And then I bring in astrology. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I look at those charts and all those colored lines and I get dizzy. But I interpret astrologically their numbers, bundling it all together. So esoteric numerology uses the ancient spiritual tools to go deep into the interpretations and help that person as a soul understand what's it all about, Alfie? Where am I going? What's it for? When's it going to happen? And why am I constantly hooking up with the same type of guy over and over and over again.
Right. So you can tell patterns that way. And you told me something really, really interesting about me. I'll share it in a little bit, but made perfect sense to me. And I think if you hadn't said this to me, I wouldn't have been looking in that direction. And it has specifically to do with relationship in my life, not just my love relationship, but all of the relationships in my life. And so I'll share that. Well, I can share it now. We talked about my numbers and the fact that I do tend to be quite a busy person, and that relationships could suffer as a result of my schedule, and to pay close attention to those relationships. And I heard you loud and clear on that. So I had seen that Steve Jobs movie, and that, was one of the things that suffered in his life as a result of his type A stratospheric visionary thinking. And I was looking at that thinking, that's a really great thing so in the way of looking out for issues that could potentially occur, like being a little bit more frugal with financing, or paying a little bit closer attention to your relationship with your parents, and those types of things could really be illuminated in a numerology reading with Elizabeth, because she goes through. And also, I know that you have gifts as a medium, because I can hear you channel.
Clairvoyant, yeah.
And you'll hear it, listening to Elizabeth, is she gets this high-pitched kind of squeal, and I know that that's information coming through. I don't know if you're even aware of it, but I was interested in that, and it's very clear when information is coming through you, which is really fun. You didn't notice that. I noticed it. It was great. I noticed it as a totally different frequency, and so we'll be able to check that out during the show. So why do you go after the birth name? Why is the birth name so important?
Well, and that's a very good question, because people, my mother named me, my father named me. No. The birth name contains the codes. Every soul prior to birth looks back over previous incarnations and decides, I think this needs a little bit more improvement. That issue becomes what is called the life path number. It's like a yellow brick road. It's like the plot line in a novel that goes from here to the end of life. And it is also very helpful in career choices. The soul will keep a person on that path one way or the other. That has a lot of interpretations. But every human needs a name. And so therefore, telepathically, the soul ready to be born goes to the soul, the parent, usually the mother, and telepathically tells her, this is the name I want. Because the birth name represents, in esoteric numerology, the soul's other lifetimes as humans that it has had, that has all these memories of human being experiences locked in their soul, locked in their subconscious, that when then the new name in this lifetime gets said, sound is a vibration, vibration is an energy, and energy is an issue. And so the birth name, by code, represents the tools that soul is bringing in to this lifetime to work with. And the first name represents attitudes, behaviors, human beingness. In fact, the first letter of every person's first name, and this is what is so empowering about esoteric numerology. It's just very deep. The first name, Lisa, has a number 3 connected to it. And the number 3 I always call the little hummingbird vibration. It's very creative. It's into this. It's into that. It's kind of, we don't want to say scattered, but we'll use that word right now.
Pretty much.
And so that's your
constantly having to focus,
There's your attitude. The A at the end says, I'll take care of it. Give me the job and leave me alone, and I'll take care of it. The middle name represents to me all the emotional baggage that's coming into this lifetime. And that middle name rules the ages 30 to 55 as a big summer shower. And in that middle lane of life, we go through 3 lanes of life, from 30 to 55 years of age is when the soul bears down and flips open Pandora's box of issues karmically, emotionally, whatever, and works on its development. Usually it's all summed up by the age of 55, 56, and then, of course, in the third lane of life, which is ruled by your last name on your birth certificate, that's your spiritual baggage. That's your tribal DNA that's coming in here from the father's spiritual DNA. And that lane of life is ruled by the last name on the birth certificate, and that is in your wisdom lane, and that is your spiritual gift. When a woman, specifically, then changes her name, should she choose that, no matter what, every person, stage name, nickname, whatever, is always ruled by that birth certificate toolbox. The new name is called an angle of development. It either puts into the birth energy missing experiences, but sometimes it throws it totally out of whack into overload. And I've had several women call me up and say, I think I'm going to go back to my other name. And I do their numbers, and we agree on that. It didn't do them any favors. And they always say, well, you've got that right.
Interesting. Yeah. So what about if you change your first name or you go by your middle name?
Oh, makes no difference. You know, it's just the energy that you are pounding out to the universe like a hammer on a nail head, but you are still carrying that basic toolbox that you have come in with that needs improved upon or tweaked. I have a formula technically called the intensity table, inclusion table. I call it the toolbox formula, where I list the numbers 1 through 9, but I also use the Chaldean system, a 5,000-year-old system, which I love that system, especially for natal readings. And 1 through 9, 1 through 8, and I go traveling through that birth certificate name, that toolbox, like how many hammers, how many screwdrivers, and I list them on this birth reader. And Pythagoras, that developed Western numerology, gave us a standard to go by that says in order for whatever that number represents, number 1, independence, courage, initiative, drive, there should be so many letters in the birth name, so many hammers, and then if that's the right amount, it's a non-issue in this lifetime. Bring it on, been there, done that, I'll take care of it. When there's more than that standard or less than that standard, then usually between 30 and 55, that important power years, tweaking occurs of those issues. But most people, not everybody, but most people, you know, have a couple tools missing coming into this lifetime, especially women. And the number 8 of emotional empowerment is missing in almost every woman's chart that I do.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Really? Why is that?
The number 8 has to do with emotional empowerment first. That leads then to financial empowerment. But we have come out of the Piscean age that was male-dominated, and those souls that were women, and we still see it today in cultures, that were women in those days, those lifetimes, did not have opportunities to become emotionally empowered. They had to have a roof over their head, food in their mouth, and so they didn't learn their own identity and wealth, and therefore did not earn money. So now they're coming into this lifetime, into the Aquarian age, that is ruled by women, thank you very much, and their thumbs are in their mouth. They don't know how to do this. And so what they wind up being is single parents, where they have to take their power, they have to learn to handle money, they have to get practical.
To exercise all of that, yes.
And not be codependent.
We have a board full of callers here, and I'm going to just go out in order of the as the people called in. Now, you want the people, the first, middle, and last name.
No.
And no, you want the
I want everyone who's listening, and these will just be like 1-2 minutes. It comes very fast, as you know, Lisa. I talk very fast. People can't write fast enough to keep up with me. Look at your hands, those that are calling in. I want 5 things. I want your first and middle name. If you don't have a middle name, that's okay. We don't have to worry about that. I need your month and day of birth and your age. Now, if you are over 55, I would also like your year, because that tells me something also. But
first and middle name, month and day, and age. First, middle, month, day, age. Okay. Going to go to our first caller, which is Catherine. Catherine, I think it's Catherine Caroline. Hi.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
And is Catherine with a C or a K, honey?
It's a C.
Well, I put that down. Okay, Caroline. Yes?
Caroline. And keep going, Catherine.
And
Talker.
month and day.
Month and day is December 1st.
December 1st?
Yes.
December 1st. Okay. Well, happy birthday. And how old are you, honey?
62.
62. So what year were you born?
51.
1951. Okay. And are you single? A widow, single, divorced, anything like that?
Divorced, yes.
Okay. That's showing up here right off the bat. Well, you are making big changes in this lifetime, I will tell you. Learning to be more independent, stand on your own 2 feet. And you are in your third lane of life, which is a spiritual lane for you. And there is tremendous spiritual awakening going on. So you should live in a very quiet environment. Mother Earth is talking to you. Mountains, desert, or water, not cities, Carolyn. You also have a very clear, I bet you talk a lot, girl. I bet you're a little chatty Cathy. And so what I'm doing here in these readings is pointing out what personal year everyone is in. We go in 9-year cycles. These are called personal years. And when I do my readings, nothing is done on the computer. Everything is done by hand when I do this, because I feel the person's energy coming off the 4 pages. And so know that a couple nice things here. First of all, are you thinking of moving to a new house or fluffing your house up or something along those lines?
Actually, I'm buying my house in January.
You're doing what?
I'm going to buy my house in January. I'm renting it.
Very good. Perfect. And know that you are in an excellent year. You are in year 1 of your current 9-year cycle, in your third lane of life, and it's about it looks like you're in a new car. So a new house is just absolutely perfect. A new house, a new beginning, new start. You're also, because I read double numbers all the way to 78 that correlate to the ancient tarot cards, you are also under the Sun card of prosperity, of opportunity for you. January, there will be some major decisions, aha moments, turning you in new directions. And I'm not going to rule out, if you work outside the home, that around March and April, there could be a very nice new job, work, career opportunity for you. Carolyn, this looks very good. But
nice.
Your lane of life is about awakening spiritually. Listen to your hunches. There could be some relationship problems that you might feel betrayed about. Just cut them loose. Cut them loose.
Does that make sense to you, Catherine?
I'm not in any relationship at the moment, so.
Well, the lane of life no, not just a relationship, even friendships, even things, any kind of relationship at all. I will say that there's a possibility that you will remain single for the rest of this lifetime, from what I see here. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to have fun, party girl, with the 2 C's of Catherine and Caroline, but I'm not sure that you would make a commitment in this third lane of life.
Wow, true. Wonderful. True, good to know. All right, well, there's the validation for it. Thank you so much, Catherine, for calling in. All right, we're going to get to our next caller. Let's see here. We've got Angela. Angela, hi. I'm from New Jersey. Hi. So what is your middle name, Angela?
I don't really have a middle name. That was my maiden name is Gentili, and my married name, my ex-husband's name is Licata. So it's really, I was born, my name is Angela Gentili.
Okay. That's the last name begins with a G. Okay, that tells me something. Angela, how old are you?
I'm actually 52.
52. Big changes just from that, I see. And what is your month and day of birth?
September 1st.
September 1st. Have you ever considered being self-employed?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I've been going to I have been applying for sales positions and investment in the financial service industry.
Because there's money here. There's money. What's called an achievement number is when you add your month and your day together. It's what the soul is to achieve. Maybe not learn, but yours is covered by the Wheel of Good Fortune. So opportunity is there for you. Now, you are starting in September. You're not necessarily, and you might not like to hear this right now, but you are in a 7-year, which is a spiritual year. This is a year of slow down your life, and I do want you to watch your health. If you are thinking of taking classes, doing any technical studying, this is a perfect year for it. I would say that January, you are covered by the Star card. You're in an 8 month in January, and that is a new direction in your life. I would keep going. But I do think the closer you get to, for instance, in January, you might get a job in the finances. It might be only temporary. And then in February, we have another Mercury retrograde, Lisa. And
no.
I know. But I will tell you, Angela, that once you hit March, you're going to find a real, more positive movement towards your career. And 53 looks great as far as that goes. And so the important thing I want to tell you is slow down your life. You listen to your spiritual guidance. You are in your spiritual year, and it is awakening you. Aha moments, and it's going to do it easy way or hard way. And you're under the Tower card. So the Tower card is like remodeling the kitchen. All right. So let go of anything that's not working for you. You choose it. Don't make spirit choose it for you because it can be a little nasty. Thanks, Angela.
Thank you. Thank you for your call. We just have 2 minutes left, and before the break, and then we're going to get back to your phone calls. But the interesting thing, because that particular person had a question on career, and you went right for it, right in the very beginning. So it comes up right in their chart, right? Right in their number.
Yes.
Huh.
When I look at it and I do these minimal calculations, I immediately know what year they're in. One is a business year. This is not a business year. But as she gets deeper and deeper into next year and closer to September, she moves under the Star card, which is a business year. Might have to take some, so it comes right up, and then I look at it from a tarot perspective and also astrologically in the big readings. It's very exciting.
Well, I'm really excited. We're going to start off at the beginning of the show with a 2014 little glimpse, because we all want to see what's going on, and then we'll get back to individual readings. And in the meantime, you can check out Elizabeth's website, which is elizabethsummers.com. Such an easy name, so you don't have to spell it. Elizabeth Summers, like the season. .com. And she has all sorts of workbooks and explanations on her website for what she does. And I love the whole idea of the esoteric numerology, because you really combine so many different worlds together.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. So we will take a quick break, and we come back, we'll talk about 2014.
Wonderful.
Does that work? Okay, great. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. This is Lisa Garr. You're listening to Being Aware on Hay House Radio. welcome to Being Aware. This is Lisa Garr. I'm sorry, I'm really excited to get started because we have so many callers on the line and so much to cover. Elizabeth Summers is my guest, and we're talking about esoteric numerology, and we have a bunch of people on the lines about readings. I want to talk about some major themes for 2014. First, I want to let you know that I mentioned this earlier in the last half an hour. Go to our website, which is theawareshow.com. It's TheAwareshow.com. And if you go to theawareshow.com/calendar, you'll be able to see 21 videos that we just did, or 22, of guests that I interviewed. They're absolutely incredible interviews. You'll see them. They're all up there for free until the end of the year. Very inspirational interviews with some of our favorite Hay House authors and all other incredible authors. Doreen Virtue is on there, and you'll just have a great time perusing. So you can watch us live or on video there. And so let's talk about 2014 with Elizabeth Summers. What do we have to look forward to in this new year?
Well, this was a little tricky. Oh, by the way, I wrote a full article that can be found on my website under Numerology News. It's being published in many publications online and print all over the United States, and you can check that out on my website also. So you can see the full article there, 901 words, thank you very much. And
2014, great.
2014 adds down to number 7. Number 7 is like trying to hold a cloud in your hand. It's Neptune, it's Lala, it's not meat and potatoes, bread and butter energy. The number 7 is a spiritual vibration, and I think that personal year that applies to everyone on every continent, 2014, which adds down to a 7, is going to have some major themes, one being choice, one being discernment. People are going to go looking for silence more. The spirituality of introspection, your work, my work, should just blossom beautifully. People are going to want to know more and more how to do it. How do I do that? Know that there will be focused on ethics. Ethics, big time. And we can already see this happening geopolitically in government. Because simultaneous with our 7-year and is Saturn in Scorpio. And Saturn rules Capricorn, and Capricorn rules government, finances, corporations. Okay. And that is where 2014 is all going to come to a head in 2014 in some very stark ways. People are going to peel back layers in their life through spirituality, through introspection. So I think environmental protection is going to become a big issue. People are going to withdraw, if you will. That's the correct word there. And want to go to nature. So I think the national parks are going to really become major places to go. Any businesses connected to resorts, the national park, the mobile home people, resorts that are connected to water, mountains, or desert, not cities. Those 3 elements, particularly. Nice. As far as relationships go, in this 7-year of choices, some relationships may falter. Some relationships may have a little bit of difficulty, resulting in split-ups and divorces. Now, I'm speaking grossly general, which then will clarify on a personal level in a moment. But people are going to feel, I call 7 the Greta Garbo number. I want to be alone. So they're going to withdraw because their soul's talking to them. They want to think about things. And that desire to be alone is going to create some difficulties in relationships. Thank you very much. There absolutely will be personal regrouping. You can see where in an 8-year, in 2015, it's an 8-year. Now we're going to talk about money and business and stock market and property and all of that game, potatoes, bread and butter. But this is an undercurrent 2014 nostalgia. I think antique businesses are going to mushroom. People are going to want to go back to the good old days. The number 7 is an engineering, is an analytical energy. I think we're going to see a tremendous amount of new products, improvement in products. It is also a health number. And so mental health specifically is going to be a focus for 2014. And we can already see it happening with the Sandy Hook anniversary. The vice president was there and pledged $100 million to the mental health industry to help with the gun issues and what have you. Mental health, number 7. So, in general, inventions, good old days, spirituality increase, either formal religion. You know, some people need that framework. People who have 4 and 8 soul numbers that comes from your vows in your name. The vows are the heavy hitters. Tells me who that person is emotionally. They're more prone to lean towards formal religions because of the structure, the rules, the regulations, parent-child sort of thing. But on the other hand, as we're moving into the Aquarian age, more and more souls are going to get in touch with their own self. And what we as teachers need to try to do for them is to help them get there. The work that I do through my esoteric numerology helps them, from a soul perspective, have their aha moments. Well, boyfriend, girlfriend, okay, fine, but my attitude is, look, sweetie pie, you get yourself all straightened out and balanced, and you, by the law of attraction, will draw to yourself a shoulder-to-shoulder relation.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a great theme. That's a really great theme of the year. I think regardless of your belief in numerology or not, doesn't that sound good? That sounds beautiful. Back to ourselves and
That's
developing ourselves.
That's
yeah,
right. And
absolutely.
not be afraid of it. Saturn in Scorpio is peeling back the layers of the blocks from previous incarnations, and it's particularly powerful for anyone who was Saturn sun sign, Scorpio sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign, which in my big readings I tell people what they have for this lifetime, astrologically. So I think if we play our cards right and we behave ourselves and not push and shove and type A, whatever, and learn that my attitude is, if Mother, Father, God can keep the stars in the sky, it's going to help me one day at a time.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to the phones here. We've got Tracy Lynn Ramsey. Tracy, hi. Do you have a question, or would you like a reading from Elizabeth Summers?
Well, hello to both of you.
Hi.
I do have a question, but obviously I could probably use a general one too. I've dealt, first of all, Ramsey is my adopted name, so that's not my original birth name. That said, I know you just wanted first and middle. But I have had health issues almost all my life since a child. And continue to. And I've also always had relationship issues within my family. So anything that could help me in either one of those areas would be so appreciative.
My attitude, well, tell me your month and day of birth, and I can talk.
March 15th.
March 15th. Okay, and how old are you, Tracy?
50.
50? Okay. All right, a couple things, and this is definitely from esoteric numerology, and this information was given to me clairvoyantly. And we're going to chat about this on today's show, hopefully some heavy-duty karma codes that show up in a birth name. And the 2 N's in your name of Lynn, I do so many N's come in first, then Lynn, and now Marie's coming up a strong third as far as those middle names go. Those 2 N's in your middle name have to do with past life, addiction patterns to physical abuse. And if you have had health problems your whole lifetime, you are holding the memory of that physical abuse in some fashion, and I'm not going to go into anything more deep here, from past lifetimes. And in my opinion, and the opinion of Louise Hay, bless her heart, and many other wonderful authors out there, health issues have to do with emotional and physical issues that need to be addressed. And so therefore, I suggest that you approach your illnesses from a mental and emotional way to get to the core, and there are plenty of fabulous books out there for that. You are but you're carrying karma from past lifetimes in the cellular memory that is trying to clear itself, starting, actually, I see here in your 50th year of age. The decades that we're into also carries general themes, and the 50s, girls and boys, are get your roller skates on, because the 50s, number 5, is about change, it's about movement, it's about out with the old, and I hope you have a pair of laced-up roller skates energetically, honey bunny. So, you are in your...
I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready.
Good.
It's the decade of change, and good change. Good. When you're 59, you'll look back at 50 and say, who was that math person? Who was that? You are in year 6 of your current 9-year cycle. And I tell you, sweetie, it's a very beautiful 6. The year 6 is about love. It's ruled by Venus, and it's about nurturing and caring you. And when you have a birthday number that runs around taking care of everybody else and his brother, and let me help you, and let me do this and that and the other thing. In a 6th year, a person is forced to take care of themselves, easy way or hard way. And yours is a 24/6, which is one of the healing vibrations in esoteric numerology. It is that of excellent opportunity for businesses that are in service-oriented businesses. And it's also the Queen of Wands. There certainly could be a woman in the healing arts that can help you through now this year, which is almost done, quite honestly, with your situations. I do see a move ahead of you, a physical move, either a change of partnership, a physical move that you will choose to make, and it's coming right in January. Is that correct?
And you're saying January?
Well, it's on its way. Your whole, and it'll start to really percolate like a coffee pot in January, the choice to make a move.
Yeah, I'm wanting to end a 32-year relationship.
Well, I think you're going to choose to do that, and it's a good thing. And you are running on a month-to-month basis the suit of Wands, which is all about career situations. Those two ends, which we'll address here, hopefully, if I ever stop talking to Tracy Lynn, it has to do with addiction patterns to abuse. And most people who have N's in their middle name will draw to themselves abusive relationships, psychologically, emotionally, physically abusive. And so I think once you let go of this issue, I think your health's going to improve nicely. You're in a very good trend, sweetie.
Wow,
Thank
Tracy.
you so much.
Yeah, I hope, honey. I think the worst is behind you.
That's got to be a relief, Tracy. Oh, absolutely. That was
absolutely.
Huge reading within 5 minutes. Your whole life just flashed before you. My goodness. The worst is behind you. The best is yet to come. That's all you need to know right now, Trace.
That's right. The best
Thank you so much. I appreciate both of you immensely.
All right, honey.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow. Now, those karma codes, what was that you were talking about?
There is in esoteric numerology 4 majors. There are some minors that show up, but there are 4 majors, and they are associated with 4 specific letters that are found in the birth name, which says that goes bringing it in their suitcase with them, and they're the heavy-duty ones that can be in your face until you straighten up and fly right here. So just to not scare anybody who has these letters in their birth name, but here we go. If you have a letter P as in Paul in your birth name, that equates to the code 16-7, which is the Tower card. Has to do with deflation of ego. It has to do with betrayal in relationships. And if it is found in your first name, it has to do with money and finances particularly. If it's in your middle name, it's going to definitely influence all relationships.
typing here, so I'm sorry if you guys hear me doing that. So P is betrayal. Okay, keep going.
N as in Nancy, which so many women have, is the number 14-5. Now, 14-5 is a karma code that I just talked to Tracy about that says in past lifetimes, the soul that's carrying that letter N in this lifetime, in previous lifetimes, manipulated and used relationships to their benefit, and the other person lost. So that in this lifetime, and it's usually in the middle name, and it's usually emotionally done, and the person did that because they didn't value themselves. They didn't believe that they could do it. Remember I told you about the missing A? And so therefore they, in other lifetimes, they use drugs or sex or alcohol. 14-5 is called the active sexual principle, to get what they wanted. So in this lifetime, they're not doing that, but it's done unto them. It's in their face. And they get manipulated and used. And another clairvoyant thing that I was told, connecting the 14-5, a lot of women who have this 14-5 showing initially cannot bear children. They have miscarriages, they can have abortions, the child doesn't come to full term for some reason. And I was told clairvoyantly that a lot of times that is because in previous lifetimes that person, that woman did not value children. She could have been a prostitute. She could have had children and gave them away. She had no valuing of children. And so in order for her to really, really value children, they don't come fully through so that she can up her value systems. And once that occurs, it seems that the same souls that did not come through will start coming through because she has changed her attitude towards birth. Isn't that interesting? You won't find that in any numerology book. And so the blessing for me is that I'm clairvoyant, because they just all talk to me while I'm doing this. The other one, another one is the letter S as in Sam.
Okay.
And S is called the letter of surrender.
And this is the first or middle name, right?
The first, middle, last name.
Oh,
if you have a P anywhere. If they're in the first name, they usually apply and are most intense from birth to 30 years of age, and they apply on more of a mundane level. If these codes appear in the middle name, that is the emotional aspect of the person, and I interpret it from an emotional learning viewpoint. And if it appears in the spiritual name, then it has a different, it's still carrying the same thing, but it gets interpreted in light of spirituality. So mundane, emotional, spiritual. Just like I told you, those three names represent as packages. So the letter S, the letter of surrender, is a karma code. It has the number 19/1, /1, and it indicates that in other lifetimes, that person, that soul who was carrying the letter S, was in positions of power, and they abused the power and authority that they had, and they find themselves in this lifetime having bosses that don't respect them, bosses that push them around, husbands or wives that are nasty. There's an abuse of power in their face that they then have to take their own emotional power back. Because when I subtract 1 from 9, I get the number 8 of power. Okay? And so that is a power issue, an abuse of power issue in relationships, in authority figures, in other lifetimes. And finally, we have the letter M as in Mary, or Michael, or whatever. Now, if the letter M is the first letter of a person's name, like Michael, Mary, that is saying a couple things. The letter M has the number 13/4 connected to it, 13 which adds to a 4. In tarot cards, that is the death card. It indicates that in other lifetimes, and it shows up when I do the chart, I can nail it. I can say it where it is. person was lazy. They didn't want to work. They didn't focus their lives. A to B, B to C, C to D. So that the M says, okay then, in this lifetime, I have a new approach. I have a new attitude. I am going to focus my life. I am. And every time they take a shortcut, choose the softer, easier way, it falls apart, it rubber bands back, and they have to start all over, start all over, start all over. Who needs that aggravation?
Interesting. People are just saying, yep, that's me, that's me. We're getting a lot of people who understand exactly what you're talking about. We just have a few minutes. I wanted to get to a few more readings if we can. If you have let's see here, we've got Susanna Margarita de Camara Camborone Barbarossa. Let's check her. Susanna,
you know so go with Susanna Margarita. And there's the letter M. She is making major emotional changes in this lifetime. Suzanne, how old are you?
34.
34. Oh, a pup. Lisa, she's a pup.
She's a pup. She's a baby.
Yeah, I sure am. So your month and day of birth?
Yes.
Your month and day of birth, honey?
My what, sorry?
Month and day of birth?
May 21st.
Okay.
We have 3 minutes, so this will be a speed reading, Suzanne.
Okay. So you're here to accomplish power, money, power, and authority. 21 is fabulous. Love is in the air. Excellent for sales. You're going to go deeper into sales and working with groups. Do it. And the year that you are in now is year 5 of change. A lot of travel, marketing, publishing, advertising. Big changes for you this year. Your age tells me that, and so does your year. You go, girl. And if you're not married now, wait until 2015. Don't get married during your 34th year. All done.
Oh, interesting. All right, does that make sense to you, Suzanne?
Yes, it does. And that's with career-wise, so 2014 will be good then?
2014 is going to bring you changes. I want you to look into some things that are totally different than what you might already be doing. But it's going to be like taking off spandex this year, honey. So just be open-minded. It's a very progressive year. You go.
Let it go, girl.
It's not a permanent relationship year. That's what I'm saying. Don't get married. You might meet some little honey bear that's just gorgeous, but don't get married until later on.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for calling in. Just great information here, and people can take what they want and make the changes that they want. But I think a lot of these changes are applicable to many people. Like what you mentioned earlier, 2014 being a spiritual year, going into introspection, looking more for the how, focusing on ethics. This is great advice for anyone. Peeling back the layers, spending more time in nature.
And well, I thank you. Observe what's going on and make your choices. Yeah. How's that working for you? Like that.
So you can go to my guest website, which is ElizabethSummers.com, and find out. She has workbooks and readings and all sorts of great stuff, and you can read her article on 2014 more in depth and find out how it relates to you. Thank you so much for this really fun, very fast-paced hour. I appreciate it.
It was fast-paced. Well,
it was fast-paced.
I know, and look, it's over already, and we've just covered page 1, honey. You know what I mean?
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great holiday season. And thank you all for listening. Have a fabulous holiday season. And until next time, I invite you all to stay aware.